Hi guys, just wanted to break the silence post Shadocon as I'm still kind of scrambling a little bit to get everything out, resorted together, and start working on videos again. I always forget, I always forget how much a con will take it out of me, and that I really should have a video prepared beforehand, before I leave, because I'm always I always like getting a video out just before I go. You know, because I know I'm going to be silent for that much longer. I always forget about, oh, great, I'm back. I gotta make another one. Uh, I have no idea what it's going to be. There's a TJTV episode I want to write really bad because of a certain piece of footage I got at Shadocon. And I know Plastic Addict, the second worst. It's in my head. It's got to take form yet. So there's a lot going on. But I wanted to just sit down here. I wanted to update you guys a little bit on a few toy hunts I've been on, and I also wanted to talk Shadowcon. Oh, I want to talk Shadowcon. Let's get this out of the way first. For the stuff that I've been searching for, that I keep talking about in these vlogs, we're gonna start with that. That is the Kamen Rider OCC Kajadoru. Very beautiful to finally get. That gives me 4. Still after Sagozo, Latarata, and Puto Tira. Luckily, I've seen all of those on Mandarake, so I'll probably be searching there for it. You know, just whenever I'm looking at them over here. So that's how that goes. But thank you, Victor, who provided that to me. Set of 4. I'm starting to get some really odd combinations out of them. I can see why people are hesitant to part with these things. When you've got all of them, it's gotta be fun to throw them around. Oh, and the big one. The big one. Yeah, that's the DX version. I have the FIS driver. I'm not gonna say how I obtained it. All I'm gonna say is thank you, Oliver. I'm not going to say how he helped me obtain it, but he helped me obtain it. I want to do a review week, like a solid week of belt reviews, because I've got a ton of belts that I haven't reviewed yet, but I'm only one away from having 7 Heisei main rider belts. So I think I'm going to wait till I get Fourze. Once I get Fourze's belt, I'll put together an entire week, 7 main rider belts reviewed in 1 week. Oh, I love making hard projects for myself. So that's probably coming down the line. But the soonest I'll be getting the Fourze driver is probably mid-December at the absolute soonest. So, and that's just if the cards fall right. So just keep that in mind. It's one of the billion projects in the back of my head. So don't expect it too soon. See, beyond that, I think we're good. So, Shadowcon. Now, I'm used to MetroCon, which this year I think got over 7,000 attendees. Which is a really big for an anime con. So I was, honestly a little bit underwhelmed by the smaller crowd at Shadowcon, but that's really not a surprise, because it is a fledgling convention. This is only the 2nd year that they've been independent from MetroCon. So no real surprise that the attendance level isn't that much bigger. But what's beneficial about a small con is the interactions are far more personable. I had a couple of really creepy weirdos hounding me Hey, this one guy in a fro and fake glasses. He knows who he is. He's watching this video. It was, oh no, it was cool though. And there was a couple Kamen Rider panels there where the hosts all knew me already, so that was cool to go to. I was really surprised that the discussion panel for Kamen Rider just about filled the room. It's a small panel room, but just very few empty seats in the discussion panel. So that was very cool, very encouraging to see. Like, I like Kamen Rider as this niche thing that I'm into and that so many people know me in. I kind of don't want it to blow up because then I'm not such a big deal anymore, and I don't want hipsters getting into it, that kind of thing. It was still a cool panel. For those asking, yes, the panels that I was at for Reviewtopia were recorded. I will not be posting them, but when they are up on Reviewtopia, I will probably let you know either on Facebook or Twitter. So, I'm sorry if you don't use social media, but I can't make a video for every single video I appear in. Especially with this case, because we did that video. Let's see. Yeah, it was okay. So we recorded both of the Reviewtopia panels. We also recorded two separate videos that I was involved in, where almost everyone from the site that came was involved in the video. One is a crossover event that I shot, which I'm still about 2 weeks away from being able to even start on. I'm still waiting for one particular piece of footage. And the other one was a review of the movie. Well, actually, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. But it was a mass collaboration type video. So, that's that. Again, Facebook, Twitter, I'll let you know when that video goes live. I think the coolest part of Shadocon was actually meeting the guys from Reviewtopia. Like, Shades and Lady Keiru. I had known those before. Shades, they're the ones that were in the Decade Double Decade Movie War video. They were the ones in that crossover. So, that was cool. That was very cool. But, I got to meet other guys from the site, got to meet Enigma and Easy Rider, got to meet Neige. You guys need to watch Neige's stuff. The guy is funny. Seriously. He does a show called What We Had to Watch over at Reviewtopia, which is basically, it's right in between what I do and what here's the weird thing. It's right in between the things I do for TJ TV and right in between and the things I do for TJ Talks. So it's for the new millennium kids. That were young in the 90s and are just now reaching an age where nostalgia can commence. God, that makes me feel old. And then there was the other guy, Apollo Z Hack. For those who saw him for a brief while on That Guy with the Glasses, he was the one in the eye patch. It's very overdramatic. I had the least interaction with before going to the panel, or before going to the convention, which really kind of made me nervous. I knew he was a Rider fan, and that's pretty much it. This guy is awesome. Like, I was just really, amazed at how well we clicked. We really didn't get to really start hanging out until Saturday, but come Sunday, it was hard to pull us apart. I mean, between, let's see, after we had to check out, we basically hung out in the lobby of the hotel, which was also a cafe/restaurant/bar. It was kind of a lot of slash. There was a Yaoi panel that weekend, so yeah, there was slash. Know what I'm talking about now. But between hanging out down the lobby, which we went straight to in the car, went to Waffle House for a late lunch, early dinner type thing, then off to him for the airport. It was like a good chunk of 4 hours. We couldn't shut up. I'm like, thank God I do not see you on Skype often. I would lose days worth of work. But it was very cool. It was very cool hanging out with him. Very awesome guy. I really hope he comes down for MetroCon, because he got a huge kick out of Shadocon, and I think MetroCon is going to be right in his wheelhouse. I know a few. I know one particular, as a matter of fact. Hi, Danny. We're trying to fly in for Shadowcon to meet with me and everyone at Reviewtopia. Honestly, Shadowcon is still very fledgling. I really wouldn't recommend flying out to it. Sorry. I wouldn't recommend flying out to it. Give it a couple of years, let it grow, let it mature. It's in this really weird funk right now where there aren't enough people going to the con to get bigger stars, and there aren't, and that means they can't get bigger stars to draw more people. So it's this really weird Mobius strip. So they're an unfortunate thing. It's a local anime con. It will slowly grow. If you can drive to it, it's fine. Flying to it, unless you're doing something big like we were doing at Reviewtopia, that's all. That's fine. But if you're flying in just to attend and hang out for the weekend, you might be disappointed by how much you end up spending on the venture. MetroCon is like MetroCon's big enough and it draws big enough voice actors that say, yeah, you can fly in. You should do good there. At least if you can get especially if you can get someone to split a hotel cost with you. As for Shadowcon, it'll get there. Because it's got good people running it. I had a good time. So that was that. I do want to show off. Let's see what else. Oh, before I forget, the banana guy was at Shadowcon again. The Banana King. I could go into things, but I won't. He violated me. No. Oh yeah, and everyone is asking me for Shadowcon Hall, so I guess Shadowcon Hall. Didn't really have as much money to play with as normal, which was okay. The dealer's room was quite small this year. First off, let me get this out of the way. At MetroCon, and I showed this off at a vlog after MetroCon, there were a set of Pokemon badges that I found. They were the original, the original 8 Pokemon badges, which were really, really cool. At MetroCon, they had the Series 2. The ones I showed off were from the original games. These were from Gold and Silver, and I kind of regretted passing those up. Shadowcon, same guy was there. I now have Johto League badges. They're made of a vinyl plastic, which gives them this nice matte look, and you can see all those reflections and shines in them. Those are also separate pieces of molded plastic set in. They are incredibly cool little things. They really do a great job of matching how they look in the anime, especially. No. I have this thing for anime props. I have this thing for props that I see on television. So these were awesome. Now, they are available here. I want to point this out because someone who asked me, where did you get those? Sanshi.com. That's where I got them from. I'll put a link in below in the description so it's very easy to find. As far as I know on the site, all they have are set 1 and set 2. So, basically the essentials for the classic Pokemon gamer. However, at the con, we have Generation 3 badges as well. This is from Ruby and Sapphire. Same vinyl plastic, same reflections. The designs are getting a lot more intricate, however. Which kind of led to something else that they had there. Set 4. These, however, are metal. This is from Diamond and Pearl, which is where they started getting into the DS. They started making them in metal because, one, the designs on the 5th series, black and white, just way too complicated to match in plastic. They'd be very frail, they'd be very, very easy to break and fall apart. So I can understand moving to metal. They also had a lot of requests for metal too. But also because this is the game where you could shine the badges up. So now these are nice and shiny, and I can polish my badges for real. They don't make musical notes though. Something to work on. They had set 5, but unfortunately I kind of ran out of money before I could get those. So I'll probably be, once Sunshi.com has them available on the website, I'll probably be going there to order them and complete the set. They also had at the con the Kanto League, the red and blue badges, the original 8, in metal, trimmed in silver like these or gold. Not real gold, but gold finish. I don't know, I like the anime look. I like the vinyl ones better. But once all of them are out in metal, I'll probably get all of them in metal just because they'll all match. That bugs me to death that I've got 4 sets and one of them doesn't match. But I could see why they did it. I could see why. So they're gonna start making all of them in metal because the requests have been so high for it. That's cool. Don't mind. If you buy the ones that they have now, the vinyl ones, they are going to have something of a compensation program. I don't think you have to mail in your current badges to get new ones at a discount, but I think essentially, as long as you can prove that you already bought the badge, one set of badges from them, you can get the metal versions at a discount, which is a very cool idea. So I will be taking advantage of that whenever that happens. Also, at MetroCon, there's always this guy with this enormous booth of Dragon Ball Z figures. If you've seen my MetroCon videos, of which, yes, day 2, I'm going to have to get cranking on soon. If you've seen them and you saw the big giant row of Dragon Ball Z figurines, that's the guy. Older guy, scruffy beard. I see him every year. Like some of these figurines, I could swear I've seen these things for as long as I've been coming to conventions. I always try to buy something from him if it catches my eye, and a couple things did this year. First off, your classic Godzilla with some force behind him that he's stomping. Very cool little miniature figure. And go from old school to new school. I love the detail in those buildings he is stomping. It is absolutely awesome, as is all the detail on him. Like, even the mouth and all the individual teeth are painted. I love the quality of little Japanese collectibles. So, those were cool, and since he has all those Dragon Ball Z figures, he also has a ton of these. These are, just like Gaia Memories and Metals came in capsules, a lot of toys come in capsules, including Dragon Ball Z figurines. And of course, you do it for Dragon Ball, you gotta make them look like Dragon Balls. So this was one he had lying around for like $2, and he's only got like 2 or 3 out. I asked him, okay, why aren't all 7 here? And he'd say, well, he just puts them out just to get rid of a couple of them, because buying up the figures in mass, he has hundreds of these things. And the thought occurs to me, I have a set of 7 in resin, little tiny clear ones. And I've shown those off in videos before. It's the one that all the Dragon Ball Z actors I meet have signed. But I was after Dragon Balls this size. It's a capsule. It opens up. It's thin plastic, but I was after Dragon Balls like this. Handheld size. Sized in scale. So I put the idea in his head. Why not pack them in sets of 7? If he's got hundreds of these, he could liquidate them like that. If you pay $30 for a resin set with Dragon Balls that big, or you drop about 15 or 20 to get a full set that big. Seemed no-brainer to me. He loved the idea. Loved it enough that this was a freebie. It was only $2. He told me that if I was at MegaCon, that he would have a set for me. Unfortunately, I won't be at MegaCon. I can only survive so many anime cons in 1 year. I've more than filled my quota this year. But if any of my followers, I know I've got local ones, I know I've got guys in Florida. If you are in Orlando, if you're planning to attend MegaCon, stop by his booth. Let me know if he actually did go through with it. And if he did not, someone remind him. Because I really want him to have these ready for MetroCon. I want to buy a full set of these. So, that's pretty much my haul for Shadocon. Overall, very cool convention. Very cool people I met with. I'm already starting to talk crossover with Neige. Me and Apollo want to do a video together badly. And we did one. I wouldn't call it a decent crossover. But, there is going to be one particular video that we did together that a lot of you are just going to go, huh? Hopefully it'll be funny though. We want to do a proper one later on though, if we can find a place where our paths cross. And if he's down for MetroCon, definitely. No way we can avoid it this time. Very, very, very awesome dude. If you have not seen Apollo Z Hacks videos, go. Him and Neige, go. You have to. This is not optional. I'm telling you, go. Okay, so that is it for me. I guess I start working on an actual video now, and start churning through Shadocon videos, because I took home, a full 4 gig. I took home a full 16 gigs of video from that convention. I won't do the enormous thing that I do for MetroCon every year, but I am going to show you a video of the good times that were had. So, maybe that'll come sooner than later, because, the footage is there and I might as well use it right now. So, thank you very much. Stay tuned. Interesting things are coming.